Praise be to Jesus. Hi everyone, Charles here with you. These are your Catholic news briefs for Wednesday afternoon, October 10th, 2018. The gutted and repurposed Vatican Academy for Life admonished Catholics over the weekend to cut the gossip on the Church's sexual abuse scandal and trust the Vatican's handling of the crisis. Responding via Twitter to the October 6 Vatican Press Office communique saying Pope Francis is and has been taking care of the Archbishop Theodore McCarrick sexual predation scandal, the Pontifical Academy for Life gave assurances by way of a 3-year-old quote from the Pope that the truth of the McCarrick scandal would indeed be attained. McCarrick at Holy See Press, "We will follow the path of truth wherever it may lead," the PAV said, then emphatically stating, "Now stop gossip, trust Holy See." I would say in times of crisis, a leader should step forward and speak directly to the people. Instead of addressing our concerns, they flip it over and tell us we need to trust them. Like it's our problem, It's like we're the source of the problem because we don't trust, They're asking for blind trust to be put into people that over the course of at least the last several months, have been caught in lies. We know of cover-ups, and they want us to trust them. It's absolutely amazing. It truly is, this is, there's nothing new in this. This kind of stuff's been going on since man's been around. People make the mistake of thinking that a person in a certain office, like a president of the United States, is just automatically trustworthy because he's the president, or that the Pope is trustworthy, or, he's a stand-up, justified person in the eyes of God just because he's the Pope, You really need to realize that human history teaches us that there have been a lot of bad presidents of countries. There's been a lot of bad people in the church. There's been a lot of, bad presidents of industry and, all kinds of things, there's so much history here, but yet people still want to associate and justify a person because they're in a certain position, or, they wear the white of the pontiff or whatever, or, the president of a corporation's hat or something, It's a very dangerous assumption to make. And it's been shown time and time again that, this is not necessarily true. The two don't go hand in hand. Look at all the bad politicians we have. Well, that's enough of that here. I'll move on. Now here we're going to talk about an Australian archbishop. Now, does this guy sound like he's justified in the eyes of God? Listen to what he's got to say. An Australian archbishop indicated on social media on Sunday that he does not want or have Jesus as king in his life. Unbelievable, isn't it? This is an archbishop here speaking. Responding to a tweet stating that most people want Jesus as a consultant rather than a king, Archbishop Mark Coleridge remarked, "Not too sure I want or have him as either." LifeSite News reached out to the Brisbane Chancery seeking clarification, but received no reply after more than 24 hours. Cardinal Raymond Burke told Catholics at the Rome Life Forum in May that they must consciously place themselves under the kingship of Christ in the face of enemies of the church today who are attempting to infiltrate the life of the church herself and to corrupt the bride of Christ by the apostasy from the apostolic faith. The kingship of Christ is, by nature, universal. That is, it extends to all men, to the whole world. It is not a kingship over only the faithful or over only the things of the church, but over all men and all of their affairs, he said. Archbishop Coleridge had shown himself to be an ardent supporter of Pope Francis's agenda for the church. He stated in 2015 that the Catholic saying, "Love the sinner, hate the sin," with reference to homosexuality, no longer holds, since the distinction no longer communicates in the real world, where sexuality is part of your entire being. He has also argued that using the word adultery for remarried divorcees needs to end. He criticized the four dubia cardinals in 2016 for searching for what he called false clarity amid shades of gray. In 2016, Coleridge Archdiocese defended the staging of a sexually charged, explicitly anti-Christian ballet and fashion show in a Catholic church. He recently made derisive comments against Archbishop Vigano, suggesting that the Vatican whistleblower thinks he'd make a better pope than Francis. Reaction to Coleridge's comments were swift on social media, with some even wondering if his account may have been hacked. "Is this Archbishop Coleridge authentic Twitter page?" asked church militants Christine Niles. "I find it unbelievable that an archbishop would make this statement. Please clarify." Well, apparently no clarification was made because, LifeSite News has printed the article now. So I guess if that was the case, it would have been corrected immediately. Not that it couldn't be. I mean, maybe his account was hacked. I don't know. They went to press with it, so to speak. So we'll just leave that for what it is for right now. And we will go on to the next story. There's a real doozy coming up here in a few minutes. With this next story, I've done this, tried to do this 3 times already, and I keep on stumbling across this person's name. I'm going to tell you who it is right off the bat. And then after that, I'm going to call him Cardinal C. His name is Cardinal Francesco Coco Palmario. But I keep on saying Palmerario and whatever, so I'm just going to call this person Cardinal C. All right. Cardinal C, a close collaborator of Pope Francis, was present at the homosexual drug-fueled party raided by the Vatican police in the summer of 2017, at which his secretary, Monsignor Luigi Capozzi, was arrested. A high-placed Vatican source with direct knowledge, who must remain anonymous for fear of reprisal, tells LifeSite that the Pope himself knows of Cardinal C's presence at the party. The party took place in an apartment in the building of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. Cardinal C was head of the Pontifical Council for Legislative Texts until his retirement in April. The same Vatican source spoke in more depth in a private meeting this summer with a group of priests, 3 of whom spoke to LifeSite about it. One of these priests told LifeSite that according to the Vatican source, Cardinal C, 80, was not only an attendee. The source said, in fact, he was presiding over it when the Vatican gendarmes, D-A-R-M-E-S, gendarmes, I don't know what that is, but I think maybe like police, broke in, and that they instructed him to absent himself before they started making arrests. According to the priest, Oh, according to the priest. All right. Another priest who was at the private meeting said the Vatican source stated clearly to me and a number of others that when the police raided the apartment and arrested Capozzi, Cardinal C was actually present at the orgy. He was then told by the police to leave immediately. This priest added that the source gave us to understand that Cardinal C is a practicing homosexual. A third priest told LifeSite that he heard in an informal conversation in the presence of other priests from a high-ranking cleric within the Roman Curia that at the reported homosexual orgy, said Cardinal was present and quickly whisked away by Vatican police. As LifeSite News reported earlier, Pope Francis himself insisted that Monsignor Capozzi be given that apartment in the CDF building instead of the secretary of the then prefect for the CDF, Cardinal Gerhard Mueller. Oh boy, what are you going to say about this kind of stuff? It's just absolutely amazing. When you see people like Cardinal Mueller, Cardinal Sarah, Cardinal Burke, during this pontificate get pushed off to the side. This is what it is, and and then we need to trust these people. These people hold high offices in the Vatican, and if nothing else, here's an excellent example of why you shouldn't be trusting them. It's a terrible thing to go through life thinking that, just take the church, take the attitude of, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust my priest. I don't trust, what the Vatican says. I don't trust my politician, political people. I don't trust, how far does that go? I think we should always operate of at least having some degree of trust, even in a person who you just meet that seems sincere. At least trust them, give them a chance to build trust, When you approach it the other way, like you're going to be totally untrustworthy. And that's the way I feel like the way things are. It's like, who do you trust here? I think there are some people that over the course of them speaking over a period of time, like Cardinal Burke, I trust what he says, and maybe a few others, but, generally speaking, if you don't know someone real well, these days it's really hard to just have blind trust in people. And not that you should have blind trust, it's just that you should approach things with a certain degree of trust in a person, to give them the benefit of the doubt, that basically says to them, you're a person of goodwill, and I think that's important to communicate to someone when you're first meeting them, for sure. All right, let's go on to the next story. Okay, well, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to put the next two things together. You've heard me talk about a site called bitterwinter.com, and I told you I get their newsletter every day. And in today's newsletter, there's a petition to the president of China. And I thought, oh, wow, a petition to the president of China. I'd like to sign that, And the petition is named Religious Persecution Should Cease. Anyway, if you're interested, there's an opportunity for you, Everybody's always like, I don't know if I want to sign that, whatever God's plan is for you, for your life, it doesn't matter what you do to fight with it. Just accept it, do you think God wants you to sign this petition? If you don't say yes to yourself, you're probably kidding yourself, And, all religious persecution, Muslims are, all kinds of things are going on, Buddhists, whatever, anything that elevates itself or a belief system on top of the communist regime in China, you know. So anything like that, they just like beat up and persecute, trying to get rid of it. But I mean, how could you say God doesn't want me to sign this petition? So by you signing it or not signing it, you're not going to change God's will for you in your life. If you're going to die a martyr, you're going to die a martyr in the years to come. This isn't going to make any difference. So you might as well take advantage of the fact that, you can please Jesus by signing the petition. All right, I said enough about the petition. All right, so here's something else that came in the email. Well, there's a movie coming out this weekend. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. It's called The Vatican Deception. Now, it has some stuff in there about Fatima, and, I didn't read too much about it. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be on the internet first, and then if it does well on the internet, it's going to go into movie theaters. I think that's how it's going to work. But anyway, it's like $5. So the live stream of this is going to be for 48 hours, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, October 13th. And if you want more about what this is about, there's the link in the description box, which I think I changed the links around. All right, it's the last link in the description box if you're interested in taking, interested in seeing more about what that is. Okay, well, that's about it for now. So I'm going to let you go here and enjoy your day or evening. And St. Michael's Prayer is coming up. And at least take 30 seconds, that's all. Well, my video takes a little bit longer because there's another short prayer to St. Michael there. But, in less than a minute, you can put a smile on Jesus' face. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.